we need that romanticizing energy in winter. It will get us through the hard times, because even though I'm like talking about winter in such a great way here, it is hard. It is hard to be in the cold and it's dark outside and we're not getting as much sun. So these are the things that are going to help carry you through winter in the most aligning, energizing, beautiful, magical way that we can. Hello, my loves, and welcome back to my channel. I am so grateful that you are here with me today as we talk about ways that we can celebrate the winter solstice. As you may or may not know, I absolutely love celebrating the solstices and the equinoxes. And what I love most about them is no matter what culture or religion or where you come from, we all share these because they have to do with the earth and where the earth is in our solar system and how the axis is tilted. So it really is kind of like a unifying holiday of sorts that we can all celebrate. I know it is way more common for people who use the word witch or witchy or maybe pagan people to celebrate these holidays. But honestly, I think we all can tune into this energy because every single one of us that is watching, unless you are watching from outer space, which if that's the case, that's freaking cool. Maybe that'll happen in the future. But besides that, we are all living on this planet. So we all share these in common. And I don't know about you guys, but this year especially, I've just kind of been over like the consumerism of Christmas. I know it is so much more than that in the Christian religion, but just like the buying stuff and the stress that comes with it has really just taken over that holiday. And I've never been a huge Christmas girly anyways. You guys know that Halloween, aka Samhain, is my favorite of all the holidays, but especially this year, I've just felt the exhaustion that comes with like the pressure we put on ourselves for Christmas. It's really kind of gotten out of hand. So I'm really focusing on celebrating the winter solstice. And another one of my goals for the next year is to prioritize celebrating these, because even though I acknowledge them every year, sometimes I don't take the time to do something special to celebrate it like we do for other holidays. So that is why I'm making this video, to give you some simple ideas so you can tune into the natural energy of the earth. We are all cyclical beings, just like the trees and the plants and the animals that live outside. We too, our bodies align with the seasons. So tuning into these different energies that are heightened during these times of the year can just be so refreshing for you and so aligning for you. And the things that I talk about today don't have to be done on December 21st. So the winter solstice is on December 21st this year in 2025. You can do it at any point during the winter. I think this is just a great way to embrace winter because honestly, I think a lot of us get seasonal depression from resisting the themes of winter. This is a time to slow down, rest, go within, and trust me, I get it. As a mom of two little ones, a newborn and a 3-year-old, I know how hard it can be to find times to rest, but just finding little pockets here and there, they do add up. Little moments of self-care, little moments of slowing down, little moments of going within. I promise you, they do add up. So don't throw all of this out just because you feel like you can't embody it all the time. Find little moments here and there to tune into this energy. And I promise you, it'll just feel so rejuvenating and so natural to tune into these amplified energies in the wheel of the year. So let's talk about real quick, what is the winter solstice? So like I said, it's happening on December 21st this year. It's usually any time between the 20th and the 22nd of December, at least in the northern hemisphere. And it has everything to do with the Earth's tilt. So the reason that we have seasons at all is because the Earth is at a 23.5 degree tilt in our solar system. So when the northern hemisphere is tilted the farthest away, if this were the sun, this is the Earth, the farthest away from the sun, that is our longest night, our shortest day. That is the start of winter. That is a winter solstice. And we can actually measure precisely when exactly it is the most tilted away. And then opposite of that, it's the summer solstice in the southern hemisphere and vice versa. This also marks the beginning of Capricorn season. And really, this is just a time of embracing the darkness of the year. Like I said, it is the longest night of the year. Obviously, we all notice that, especially in the northern hemisphere. And the more north you go, there's a lot of nighttime. It is cold. I see why people get that seasonal depression. But I just encourage you to kind of reframe that perspective. Can we embrace that darkness a little bit more? Because there's so much beauty to darkness. We look at the stars in complete darkness. Life begins in darkness in the womb. We get rest in the dark. We can make love in the dark. Like so many beautiful things can happen in darkness. So I really encourage you to reframe your perspective with darkness and really open up your awareness to how you can embrace the quote unquote darkness in your life. This is the perfect time to do this. Not only the winter solstice, but all winter long. Also, this is a time to slow down and go within and reflect. This almost exactly aligns with the new year. I mean, a few weeks before, but this is like all this is happening at the same time, and it's not by coincidence, right? The new year's energy, winter solstice, Capricorn season. It's just a beautiful time to slow down and kind of reevaluate how the last year went, how things are going for you personally, internally, so you can realign with what you really want out of this life. This is the perfect time to do this and a great way to set yourself up for a really reinvigorating, re-energizing, beautiful spring. And that's what I love about seasons so much, whether you're like tapping into this energy on a deep level or not. Seasons bring so much beauty to our life because it brings contrast. Like when it changes from winter to spring, spring to summer, summer to fall. Oh my goodness. Like each time it changes, we just get so excited because it's new. It's a new energy. And even though we experience it each year, like that first time it feels a little bit warm or a little bit cold, it just feels so exciting to our spirit and our soul. At least that's how I feel. So I get really excited about seasons. Maybe too much, but you know what? I love romanticizing my life. We need that romanticizing energy in winter. It will get us through the hard times because even though I'm like talking about winter in such a great way here, it is hard. It is hard to be in the cold and it's dark outside and we're not getting as much sun. So these are the things that are going to help carry you through winter in the most aligning, energizing, beautiful, magical way that we can, because winter isn't always easy. So why not leverage it the best that we can? So with all that being said, let's get into some ways that you can celebrate the winter solstice. The first thing that I wrote down was just acknowledging when the sun is coming up and the sun is coming down, either watching the sunrise and sunset or doing something special for sunrise and sunset. And it's so much easier in the winter solstice because the sun is rising later and it's setting earlier. So you don't have to wake up like super early or stay up like later to see those things. It's easy to catch both on the winter solstice because again, it's the shortest day of the year. And we're also celebrating the sun coming back. So now from here on after the winter solstice, the days are going to start getting longer and longer and longer. And that's a beautiful thing to celebrate. So maybe you can just get up with the sunrise or watch the sunset, or even like I'm sitting here right now in front of our window in the front of our house that gets the most sunlight, like just acknowledge the sunlight. See how it shines in your house in different ways. That's a beautiful way to connect with nature. And during this time without going outside in the cold is notice how the sunlight is coming into your house. Maybe hang up a sun catcher or a disco ball because it's coming in differently now than it has all year because the sun is much lower. And I think there's so much beauty to how the sun is coming in now because it is lighting up your house. Like I noticed this the other day, like it lights up this room so much differently now because it's coming in so much lower. And with that, if you can get outside, bundle up if you need to, like throw on some extra layers and go outside and just stand in the sunlight and be so, so grateful that we are on this rock rotating around a fiery ball. Like that is seriously magical in itself, not to mention like the vitamin D you're getting from the sun. So if you can't go outside and just bask in the sunlight, that feels so, so good for our body and our soul. The next two things I have on here kind of go together, but that is rest. So a beautiful way to celebrate the winter solstice is just to rest, to do nothing, to truly allow yourself to do nothing. And with that, be obnoxiously cozy. Like I'm saying, pull out all the stops to be the coziest you've ever been. Like get out your fuzzy socks, light your fireplace. We don't have a fireplace, but we got a space heater this year and that is so nice. Get out your space heater, get a warm drink, light as many candles as you can, put an ambiance on the TV if you need to, get your favorite book, find a special spot and just be cozy Oh my goodness, this is cozy season. Like embrace being cozy. I freaking love being cozy. So embrace that feeling and pull out all the stops to be obnoxiously cozy and rest. Allow yourself to do nothing and have zero guilt about it. This truly is the time to do nothing. That is what the earth is encouraging us to do. That is what the season is encouraging us to do, is slow down, do nothing, because that opens space for you to go within to yourself, which I know can be scary sometimes, but I'm here with you to like guide you through that process and give you some prompts to help you go deeper within yourself. But we'll get to that in a second. Now, I kind of already mentioned this next way to celebrate, but that is get outside. Last year, we actually went on a little winter hike, and that was so magical, honestly. Again, I know it gets cold, but it is so good for you to get outside. And I think we just make the excuse in winter not to get outside because it's cold. I get it. I get it. But just taking a little time to maybe explore a new trail around you on maybe a day that isn't so bitterly cold. I know here in the St. Louis area, temperatures go up and down all the time. So maybe pick a day that isn't as extremely cold and just go outside. Go on a little hike, look at the sun, look at the trees. Even though they're bare right now, the trees are beautiful, and just connect with nature. That is literally one of the best things you can do all year long. But connecting with nature just fuels our soul on a level we can't quite quantify or explain. But I know we've all felt that feeling before. Another way you can celebrate and really make room for more rest in your life is create a sacred space to rest. Maybe that's a little corner in your house where you can read or meditate or create or paint or start a new hobby or just nap, but create a new cozy little space that is all for you, where you can go and practice all of these things. I think just being intentional by creating the space encourages you to do it even more, so you can be cozy all winter long, because again, that is going to help us get through winter. So just find a little nook or cranny or corner in your space and make it your own. Get artwork that you really love and hang it up, or your favorite candles, the softest blanket you can find, and make it a sacred space of rest, creation, meditation, going within, whatever you need in this season. Another thing that I think is so important for winter, and I talked about this last year on my podcast, was doing things that you love. Because we have to like keep that internal flame that we all have, that internal fire, our passions. We have to stoke that. We have to keep that alive. We have to keep our internal fire going throughout the winter. And again, I think that's why a lot of people get so depressed in the winters, because they're not stoking that internal fire. So figure out some things that you love to do. Maybe you want to start some new hobbies like knitting or cross stitch or reading or whatever, cooking. It could be anything. Find some things that you just love doing because they bring you so much joy. You forget time and space is passing. I call those alignment activities, and do those as much as you can. When you're not resting, when you have extra time, prioritize time for those alignment activities, the things that light your soul on fire, because again, that's going to get you through the harshness, the coldness of the winter, and it is so good for your soul health. With that, I think another really good use of this time, since we are indoors more now than the rest of the year, is maybe do just a little bit of decluttering. I know rest is important, going within is important, slowing down. So like, don't do this obsessively, but if you have some extra time here and there, when you're creating that sacred space, maybe you can get rid of some things. This is a great time again to let go of the things that aren't serving us energetically, physically, all the way. So I know I'm going to do that. I'm going to maybe tackle like a closet at a time or a tiny space at a time. Don't try to do everything at once. If you try to declutter your whole house or your whole space, you're going to get overwhelmed and not do that much. Pick one spot that you can declutter, work on that, and just see how it makes you feel. Again, these are things we can do all winter, not just on the winter solstice. All right, the last way that you can celebrate the winter solstice, I mean, there are so many different ways you can celebrate, but my last suggestion to you, I think, is one of the most important, is to stop, slow down, and journal. I had a whole video on this 2 years ago where I shared these journal prompts, and I actually journaled with you and shared my responses. I'm not going to do that this time unless you really love that. If you did, let me know in the comments and maybe I'll share them down below, or you can share your responses down in the comments. But take some time to do these. I think there's 6 journal prompts. It does not take that long, but it is such a beautiful way to head into the new year, to head into winter, to stop, pause, reflect, embrace the darkness, and set intentions for the new year. There are 3 sections. So the first section is reflect. And the first thing I want you to reflect on is what you are grateful for this year. We can practice gratitude literally all year. I think it is embedded in almost every one of my practices for the solstices and equinoxes, but especially now, practice gratitude for what happened this year. What did you accomplish? What did you manifest? What did you get through that was really hard and you're just grateful for that experience? habits? Did you meet new people, or did you strengthen any relationships? Did you really lean into any relationships? Did you do something that you're just really proud of yourself for doing? What are some things that you are truly grateful for that either happened this year or that you just acknowledge this year? So take some time to write those things down. 2, I think this is a really powerful practice, and I'm actually going to record and post this on my channel as well. So do this in any way that feels right to you. You can create a video or just do it for yourself. Is go through your year month by month and just acknowledge what you did each month. You can do this by scrolling through your camera roll on your phone, or looking through your planner or your calendar, or maybe on social media if you forgot what you did each month. I just find this to be very cathartic to remember like the trips that I took, the people that I hung out with, the conversations I had, the adventures that I went on each month, to be like, wow. Sometimes you forget what you did and you look back and you're like, wow, I actually did more than I thought in 2025. Or maybe you wish you did more, and that's okay. That is an intention you can set for next year. And as you go through each month, just acknowledge what happened. How did you feel during that month or during that activity? What did you learn from that thing? Just go as deep as you want, but I just find it to be so cathartic to go through my year month by month and recap what I did. And lastly, in the reflect section, what intentions did you set for this year, and how did that go? So for example, for me, my only intention this year was no pressure. I just wanted to have no pressure this year. So I'm going to reflect back on how did that intention go for me? Was I able to have like no pressure all year, or was that challenging for me? It was a little challenging for me. So I might carry that into 2026 a little bit, but I just think it's really good to acknowledge the intentions that you set at the beginning of the year, or maybe you have your own ritual that you do at the beginning of the year. Go back to that and just see how that went for you. The next journaling section is embracing the darkness. So like I said before, what challenges did you face this year, and how did those challenges help you grow and evolve? The way that I look at life, and I've been talking about this a lot recently, is we are here at Earth School. Like, we came here for a reason, for a purpose, and we signed up for certain challenges to help our soul grow. So that just helps me look at these challenges in such a new perspective. So think about the things that were really challenging for you this year. I feel like a lot of us had really challenging years, myself included. A lot of things changed in my life this year. I went through a lot of things. So look back at those challenges. How did they help you grow? What lessons did you learn? And how can you embody those lessons continuing on in 2026 and beyond? Because that is the key to challenges. Not only are they there to help us grow, but like learning from those lessons and learning to embody those lessons. Not in a perfectionist way, but more in a evolutionary way, in a gentle, I'm changing and evolving each year way. And this may come up again, but like each time that it comes up, I'm handling it a little bit differently. All right, I was trying to record this as my daughter was napping, but she's awake, and that's okay. We're just going to flow with it, because I think a big lesson for me this year was learning to be flexible and embrace motherhood and flow with the river. And now you get to see my little mini up close. She's going to join us for this last part, my little Luna girl, my little sweetie. Hopefully she'll want to sit here with me. Continuing on with how can we embody those lessons in 2026, what new habits can you form to help you embrace those lessons in 2026? So for me, a big lesson is embracing motherhood and flowing with the river. What habits can I form to really embody that? Maybe that has to do with like slowing down when I'm feeling rushed or overstimulated. Like, what practices can I build into my day to embody that lesson even more? Now, the last one for the embracing darkness section in our journaling prompts for the winter solstice is, what can I release in this time of sacred rest of the year? This is a beautiful time to let things go. So what was a limiting belief you had? What was a habit that you had? What was something that you did that you can just let go and leave in 2025, not bring that energy into 2026? And then our last section for our journaling prompts are setting intentions. So what do you value in this season? I think this is really important to revisit each year, because our values can change. Like, in one season, you can value freedom and travel. In another season, you can have more value in like staying home and being cozy and being with loved ones. And don't judge yourself for this as it changes, because it's going to change for all of us in different seasons of life. But just revisit your values. What do you value in this current stage of your life? And again, it's totally okay if this shifted from last year. Like for me, having another child obviously shifted my values and shifted what is important to me even more than it had before. And then lastly, what intentions do you want to set for the new year, for 2026? weeks. So this can be a single word or an intention. Like I said, my intention from last year was just no pressure. And before, I've had years where I've had a few different intentions. So you can have just one word, you can have just an energy you want to embody, or you can have multiple intentions for the year. It's up to you. Just take some time, go within, breathe. I should have mentioned this before you even journal. Take some time to breathe, place your hand on your heart, and just slow down so you can really go within as you're doing these journal prompts. If you're interested, I do have a winter solstice yoga flow and meditation if you want to go even deeper. And like I said, I have that video from 2 years ago where I share my responses to these journal prompts. So I hope this video was useful. I hope you are finding some time to slow down and rest in this busy season of the holidays. I know that I'm looking forward to that sacred pause after the holidays to just go within and do a lot of these things. You don't have to do it on December 21st. You can do these all winter long. And I really think these help us embrace the beauty of winter. So let me know down in the comments, how are you celebrating the winter solstice? Are you into celebrating the solstices and equinoxes? If you're a fantasy book girly, they are always celebrating the solstices and equinoxes, like in ACOTAR and so many other fantasy books that I've read. And I just love that so much. I think it's a great reminder to celebrate that because we have those going on each year for our own beautiful planet. So let me know in the comments how you're celebrating or what you found useful from this video. Subscribe if you're new here. I have so many more ideas for the new year and just like sharing how I'm going about life with all of you. My new slogan is like living a simple life and having deep thoughts. That's truly what I'm doing over here. I'm deep in motherhood, as you can see. So I'm living a very simple life, but I have so many deep thoughts along the way and it just feels fun and aligning to share them with all of you. So if you're into that, please subscribe, share this video with anyone that you think would enjoy this message. I'm sending you all so much love, all the highest vibes as we head into the new year. And of course, I will see you in the next video. Say bye, Luna. Say bye. Bye-bye. See you next time.